É muito ruim. Internet é muito ruim. Fala de novo, ok?
Não, isso era para falar em off, eu não vou falar ao vivo. Hello,
Ok?
everyone.
Então,
E
você canta algumas o quê? Não entendo.
não, eu tava cantando uma música. Lembra que eu cantava para você que eu ia anunciar o nosso
Qual música?
casamento no jornal? Eu faço tudo por você. É calcinha preta. Põe um anúncio na TV, mostro o meu coração para todo. Por que eu tenho que começar sempre cantando essa live aqui? Que graça que tem, gente.
Hey, Muse Nice. What up? Just passing through and saying hello. I have to wake up at 5:30. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining in. You can watch the replay. I do lives just because I'm super lazy and I don't want to record, upload, blah, blah, blah. So I just broadcast it out, done. I barely review comments. If I see them, I'll respond. If I don't, I'm very sorry. I know that's like the opposite of other channels. They're like, oh, I make sure I read all the comments. I barely squeeze these in. Hey, canta Mariana. Olha, Marcos. Ele fala.
Ô,
O que ele
Marcos,
diz?
o que que ele
Vai,
falou?
canta. Vai, canta. Vai, canta.
Não, Marcos, não dá ideia, Marcos, não dá ideia. Não.
Vai, canta.
Que? Eu cantar? Não! Oh my God. Acererê, dá não, para, chega. Amor, é live de facas, não é?
De
Mariana canta.
repente, você canta bastante sem parar. E de repente, durante live, você.
Não
Nossa,
canto nada. Gente, pra que isso é tortura? Eu só torturo o Charles. Minha música.
tortura nada. Sim, você me tortura.
É, eu
Okay,
sei
so
que é tortura.
I got this from Lions. Uh, I was like, Leo. I was like, that sounds a lot like Lions Jewelry. I was like, but I was really confused because I just bought a knife from him, and I was like, how did this get here already, right? So I opened it, and I didn't realize she'd want. So he put in some candy, which I gave most of it to my roommate, and let's see, his little sticker, which is right here. It was here. Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is. Oops, I dropped it.
Diminui minha câmera.
Okay, well, I dropped it. I'll have to show you guys later. And then I didn't realize, I was like, what is, and I had forgotten she had won this, and obviously sent my address. There's literally 2 other winnings right there, plus 2 from last year. So it's the BMK. So this is that company Benchmark, who's obviously trying to cash in on Benchmade. Quality knives since 1978. I'm not sure how old is Benchmade. They're about that old as well. So quality knives. And personally, I like these guys. Ultra low budget. They're basically the price point of like MTech and Tech Force and all that. Except I would say they're definitely more creative, and they're not trying to be gas stationy, but they're definitely gimmicky, but useful gimmicky. So like I have some neck knives of theirs. They have the cheapest micarta neck knife in existence. Now the micarta is not great quality, but it's still a micarta. It was like $10 or something. I can show that to you if you guys are interested. Here it is. It looks to me like it's pretty decent quality G10 there. And with like a satin brushed stainless steel clip that's made to look like a titanium clip. So it's actually pretty decent quality. And the flipper, the detent, is definitely very, very weak. Here, let me switch this over. Hold on.
Você falou que é titânio? Ou a lâmina?
Hum?
Você falou que a lâmina é titânio?
Que é titânio? Que é isso? Hey, old fart. Hey, Jan. And good dogs. Okay, so you can see here it says Benchmade on there, just a little logo, uh, made in China, but it's actually got a really nice thin hollow grind. So remember, geometry cuts. It's not steel that cuts. It's not even premium steel. As long as it has a heat treat and it's steel, but it has good geometry. I mean, look at that, thin behind the edge, nice deep hollow grind. Decent action. This is by no means a crappy knife, and I'm sure it's extremely, this is better than your your MTEX and such. It's got a pretty decent solid build. So I personally have always liked benchmarks, and have always endorsed every benchmark I've had has been good, ultra budget. So I don't have any kind of expectation. Lanyard hole. This is a decent quality G10, and I'm almost positive it's G10. Yeah, it's G10. So, and it's a nice quality G10. So anyway, there's another flipper. So that happened, and he sent his sticker in there as well as some of this candy. So that was pretty cool. That's a decent little giveaway. So good on Leo over there at Lions EDC. Okay. Oh yeah,
Caixas. Open the box. La vida loca.
Okay, so this is from SMKW. I cannot figure out why the box is so enormous, because I'm pretty sure what I ordered was tiny. So I'm not sure why this doggone box is so doggone big. If I'm not mistaken, there shouldn't be hardly anything in here. Oh God, of course.
Cadê?
I feel like Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. I think I've got YouTube's largest MTech collection. That's my claim to fame. It's the MT2004. Oh God, what was I thinking? It's like that Godfather 3. It's like, just when I get out, they drag me back in. It's like every time I think I'm gonna, like, this is my last MTech, I'm gonna stop buying MTechs, and then I see another one, like, what? Only $15? What? Only $10? Oh God. Oh, I remember. Oh shoot, now I'm gonna have to find it. Okay, this is a great one. Look at this, guys. This is the MTech sub hilt. So remember Goondocks? I don't know. Did you end up getting the cold steel sub hilt? This sucker, which I cannot get out of the sheath. Come on, here we go. Look at that.
Cadê? Olha.
Look at that.
É uma espada?
No, é faca. So this is the MT2-20-04 stainless steel USA design. Fit and finish is, not amazing. Quite a big, pretty enormous gap there, honestly. I mean, there's like crap in there. But it's pocket wood, if I'm not mistaken, which is that like stabilized wood. Fit and finish is more or less terrible, but it's full tang, more or less. It's far from amazing, but I can't remember how cheap this was. But if you don't want to spend $60 on a cold steel, let's see. Yeah, 16. Yep, I spent $17. $17 versus 65 for the cold steel. And I'll do a side by side if I can find my cold steel. I don't actually remember where my cold steel is. I hope it's not in my big one. As you can see, there's a tons of oil and gunk. The fit and finish is, there's tremendous amount of gapping, which I really don't know what you're supposed to do about that. But anyway, at $17, I want, this would literally be my second sub hilt. And as you can see, And are you going to say they ripped off Cold Steel? Well, where did Cold Steel get it from? They're doing an homage to their type of blade, and obviously, pretty terrible sheath. But what are you going to do? I mean, what do you truly expect? It's a button. It's good enough retention. I mean, as you can see it, without that strap, you're not going to have any retention at all, as you can see. So it's not meant to be anything incredibly high quality, but if you're using this as just a purely self-defense knife, of course, this one's single-edged, unlike the OSS, the Cold Steel OSS, which I got the double-edged one. And they have the single-edged one of the OSS as well, which they call the OS something else, I think. Can't remember. So let me catch up on these. Oh, okay. You've got a few daggers. Let's see. Sorry, let me catch up on these. A nice machete, I know, right? Practically. Okay, let's see. I mean, that is one way to get YouTube famous. I know, right? The problem is with the MTech thing, it really is kind of one of the approaches I had. Like, I want to do super duper ultra budget stuff because, they outsell the knives that we like. They're going to sell them 9, 10, 20 to 1. Every guy I meet that carries a knife out here, they don't even carry MTech. They don't even carry Tac Force. They carry like no name on it, just like some random gas station. And they pay $20 for those things at Chinatown or whatever, like pawn shop or whatever. I mean, it's even worse than MTech. So sadly, no, I won't get YouTube famous, but I do want to cover knives that people would never think to look up. I kind of want to so sadly, the whole point of my channel was to create a channel for an audience that doesn't know it exists. But I still nevertheless see a need for that. I genuinely see a need to cover the really, really, really ultra low end because, MTech is selling 10 times as many of these things as Cold Steel is. I mean, even Cold Steel is nowhere near the volume. These things are ubiquitous. I mean, they are everywhere, and people are overpaying for these. I may have gotten this for 17, but this same thing probably sells for $30 in some ghetto ass shop somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Essa faca ela tem estilo meio árabe, não é? Essa aqui.
We have a special guest.
Machete.
O que você... Bowie Gladius.
A manchete que você me mostrou. A manchete que você me mostrou, ela tem um estilo meio árabe, sabe?
Isso? Não. Isso é tipo de Inglaterra, de guerra.
Não, a primeira.
Essa lâmina?
Não, o cabo dela. Olha como a ponta do cabo é.
Esse cabo?
Olha.
Sim, esse é um cabo tático de guerra de Inglaterra, facão de Inglaterra. É só para guerra.
Nossa.
Sim. So I got one of these American flag sticker ones, and I think, yeah, that's the only one. Too bad no Sasquatch one. So the nicer. Well, let me get to the. No, I bought a few dagger. Oh, you got the Dagger Knives. Oh, cool. Hopefully you'll be showing those. Swap with Bob DeMarco and see if he notices. I'd have to, what would be cool? Nah, he'd notice. If you maybe stonewashed it so you couldn't read the branding on it, he would definitely still notice all the gapping. I mean, he's no slouch. Bob DeMarco is definitely no slouch. That guy loves his big, huge tactical knives. And if we switched it out, he'd notice, he'd be like, what the hell happened to the fit and finish on this? Because to be honest, no, I don't expect much, but I expected a lot better than that. I mean, that is pretty bad fit and finish. About as bad as I've ever seen. Almost to the point of disappointment. I'll be honest. I'm almost disappointed. I'm not exactly, because still, for such a cheap price, that's a lot of fucking sharpened steel. I mean, that is a big monster ass, Bowie knife. So, sorry, let me highlight this one. One can't rip off what are basically public. Exactly. That's why you can't sit here and be like, oh, they stole, it's a sub hilt, that's, at this point, it's in the ether, right? Like a Bowie knife. You can't, yeah, for clearing small brush, but why would you want a sub hilt for, this is, as I understand it, sub hilts are for tactical because it helps with indexing, grip, slip, not losing it, in knife fighting and in gutting people. I mean, this is a vicious commando knife. If I'm not mistaken, this is, I told that story before about Christopher Lee was on set for the Lord of the Rings, and he's got that deep booming voice. And this guy was a fucking commando in World War II, right? And he's like, actually, when you stab someone in the neck, it doesn't sound like that. I mean, this guy literally used knives like this, walked up behind people and fucking, Oh, yeah. Someone was in the comments was talking about how you come in this way and you cut out so they can't scream or whatever. I know. Thanks for joining in, Blade Ogre. Yeah, it's a great blade. And, let's face it, a lot of people don't have $65 to be getting the cold steel one, or, even more for that matter. I mean, cold steel itself is a very affordable version of this knife. Gas station knives are a thing for a reason, sadly. Yeah, and they literally sell 10 times, 100 times more than all the brands that we love, and they're overpaying for it. It's too bad. Brand knife. It's true. Knife.
Do que tá falando?
Ele falou o marca os outras facas é só faca.
Ah, tá,
Não,
entendi.
esse é marca, né?
Aham.
Us why. Sorry, I forgot. Tell us why. Tell us why people buy shitty knives. I mean, they just don't take the time. They just don't take they walk by, they see a knife, they're like, oh, that looks cool. Okay, quality has gone up on budget items. When you say 100%, look, that's the other thing. Thanks for reminding me. The quality of this knife for $17. Oh,
Descarregou. Oh my God. Fechou.
sorry about that. I stabbed the internet and I severed its tendon. Okay. As I was saying, quality has massively gone up. Yesterday's gas station knife that we grew up with is not today's gas station knife. Gas station knives, when I was growing up, I think a lot of people's prejudice today of gas station knives is their perception of the gas station knives they grew up with. that we would really literally break. And yeah, we were abusing them and using them in ways you shouldn't. But today's gas station knife, even with that abuse, are profoundly better because production quality has just, I would say, skyrocketed. I mean, again, the fit and finish on this is nowhere near incredible, but the durability is probably far beyond. I'm pretty sure I broke my Rambo knife, and now that I think about it, I think I might have broken a couple. So let's see. Let me know if I'm not on the stream anymore. Okay, they sell. I think I might be locked out of my thing. Can you guys hear me? I believe I might be locked out of my own thing here. Well, I don't think I can highlight things anymore. They sell because most people don't know shit about what makes a good knife. We are a small group compared. Yeah, it's it. I was pointing this out in somebody else's live stream. It's so strange. It's very mysterious to me how the most oldest tool we have, the most common tool we have, the most widespread tool we have, the most used tool we have across the board, under men, women, children, the amount of times it's used in a day, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I would say probably knives outpace all other tools combined. I mean, screwdrivers are only for screws. Hammers are only for nails. You could do almost anything with a knife, that doesn't require a specialized tool. I mean, it is your most used tool. And the level of uninterest is ironic, is inverse to how useful and important they are. Você está lá? Pode me escutar? So it almost makes me wax philosophical to try and contemplate how there can be such a wide disconnect between the amount, usefulness, commonality, and how little we pay attention to something that plays an indispensable and constant role in our lives. I find it bizarre, frankly. It's almost weird. Okay. Você está lá? Pode me escutar? Okay, the hag tooth. Okay,
Tá repetindo.
Pode me escutar?
Alô?
Tudo travou.
Não, você repetiu isso umas 3 vezes.
His hog tooth is a prized possession. Wrap it with grip tape and call it done. It's this stabilized pocket wood. Indeed, it is kind of smooth, but honestly, I do like this pocket wood stuff. I do kind of like it. There is, in fact, some gapping, but as yet, it's not so terrible that I at this point feel the need for any kind of grip tape, and especially with that sub hilt, the grip on it is perfectly good. So, I might get some grip tape. Something. Will it cut paper? Okay, let's see. I'll be right back. I finally found some of those doggone coupons. These are, oh, wow. When did Valpak coupons get all thick? Oh, here we go. Here's some thinner ones. Here we go. All right. Let's check out the cut test. Okay.
Olha.
Yeah, not amazing. Not amazing. A little bit of tearing, but
eu gostei muito dessa lâmina.
That'll do some damage. I mean, it probably could use a bit of a strap. Fala de novo.
Eu gostei muito da lâmina dele.
É muito longe, né? Check out the piano storage from Home Depot for your knives. I got this cool Foot Locker style for $35. Okay, Home Depot. Oh, Plano storage. Oh, you mean the toolboxes? I got this cool Foot Locker style for $35. Huge and durable. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Oh wait, hold on. Let me put this up on the screen. Good. There we go. Plano. Didn't I used to have a Plano tackle box when I was a kid? Is that Plano, right? They used to make tackle boxes. I guess they make toolboxes. He stabbed the internet. I know, right? Let me see. Flew the coop on us. Come on, guys. Fall out of live. Okay. So we're back, right? Lowest I would go for is 8CR13, which is okay when heat treated correctly. Yeah. Well, Todd, think about it like this. For that 8CR13, yeah, if you're doing tons of work, it goes without saying you're going to need more. But think of Cold Steel's 8CR13, right? They did the SR1 Light in 8CR13, and everyone that tested is like, this is a fucking crowbar. So you're right. If it's heat treated right, it's a lot more knife than we're going to need most of the time. Now, if your job requires you cutting up hundreds of boxes every day, you already know you're going to need something more premium. Then in which case, yeah, it's a moot point. We get it. You're going to need something better, but you already know that. Aside from that, I just simply don't have that much cutting to do. Personally, I don't. So, not the best edge in the world. I think I'm going to need to strop it a little bit to really see. And obviously, I'm using this thin magazine paper. Yeah, it's not.
Ela parece que é mais afiada na
tearing
ponta.
A little bit. So, like, it looks better when you've got this thicker cardboard stock. Sure, it looks nice and sharp. But when you're using this, see, can you hear it tearing a little bit? I think it just needs a tiny little strop and it'll be fine. Oh, what does it say? Hello?
Olha amor. Ó o Shane perguntando para você.
Just not if you can hear me.
Hey, Christine.
I hear you're feeling down. Well, now I can use your pain. Get on your feet again. Relax. That's good. Gets you food and shelter and goes from there. Yeah, sure. There is no pain. You are receding. You guys are being weird. Okay, that's good. Good stuff. I am receding. I'll need some information first. Just basically, can you show me where it hurts? Oh my God, you guys, I did not send that twice, but that I should, I guess. Yeah, I know. Probably because I was having massive hiccups on my end. So let's see. Let's see if I can get this to show because I can't read it so well. A distant ship. Smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through with. Oh no, me? Is that me? Uh-oh. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. Are you serious? Still? Uh-oh. My tackle box is a Plano. Had it since I was about 11. Yep. There we go. I hope you guys can hear me. Please let me know if. I know I'm way behind on comments, but when I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. Can't explain. You would not understand. This is not how I am. I've become comfortably numb. Are these lyrics of a song? And I hope you're okay, Christine. Because I think you said you weren't feeling well on your live stream. And I was in and out. I just get so busy. Hollywood, do you get the 24-hour live schedule? Oh my God, Shane, yes. Mary just told me about it. And yeah, I'm in. And yeah, I'll probably take one of those, whatever schedule, I'll schedule around it and just drink some coffee that night. And I'll stay up and I'll support that, whatever is going on. So let me respond to you after this. Thanks for reminding me. I'm sorry. It's just this YouTube thing. I have to just squeeze in when I can. I barely make people's lives. And when I'm in the live, I'm kind of just in and out, in and out. I try to listen in the background. Something more premium or a box of utility blades. Yeah, exactly, utility blades. Can't go wrong with that. Okay, I've become comfortably numb. Are you guys talking about that? Was it the Led Zeppelin? That Grateful. What is it? Grateful Dead. Okay, let's see. Did you send out the schedule? Yeah, he did. December 3, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Knife Lives Marathon. Yeah. So that's going to be so cool. I'm going to try and really, let's see, December 3rd. So December 4th is my dad's, my late dad's birthday. It'll be his first birthday without him. So let's see what's going to be up. But, maybe I'll do it in his honor. Who knows? One of the first songs I learned to play on guitar. Oh, yeah, Pink Floyd. Okay, so that's what I thought. Comfortably Numb. Okay. Pink Floyd has done great tunes. Okay, you guys.
O que você fala sobre Pink Floyd, amor?
É canção de Pink Floyd. É uma de mais famoso rock de 70, 60 e 70. É música maravilhosa. Maravilha.
Eu gosto de Pink Floyd, eu conheço algumas.
It's a song. Yeah, I know. I was like, that sounds like Pink Floyd. Yeah, I thought so. Let's just say I listen to a lot of Pink Floyd, but never in a perfectly clear head, if you will. That was always in a haze. I still feel a little crappy, but getting better. Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Do you ever take yin chow? Just go to Chinatown and get some yin chow. It's got forsythia flower in it. It'll knock out, whatever viruses, microbes, etc. Okay, here we go. We used to listen to Dark Side of my high school. My friend's car stoned out of our minds. Yep. 2 15-inch rock. Ooh, that sounds good. I mean, that's how I was introduced to Pink Floyd too, and it's kind of cool because, like, as a kid, yeah, I kind of knew. I knew who Pink Floyd was, but it wasn't in my wheelhouse. Like, as a kid, right? It was something that the older kids listened to. But then I discovered it when I discovered, like getting weed, getting high and stuff like that. So I met the music at the right time of my mental, my vibrational state or whatever. So it was a happy accident that I discovered it the way one ought to discover their music, Still sending something, Christine. Still sending, Christine. Oh, okay, yeah. And thank you for sending that, Shane. I know you're doing a ton of work. It's so great. I can't say, like, it's awesome. You were saying, can anybody hear me? Oh, okay, yeah. There we go. Okay. Anything about Forsythia? She comes around. Wait. Yeah, I'm serious. One thing about Forsythia, she comes around. Forsythia. Not sure. Is that a play on words? Forsythia flower. Okay. Dark Side and the Wall for sure. Oh God. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I'm lucky because I got to experience it the way people at the time experienced it, because I was like half a generation off, or maybe a full generation off. At any rate, when I discovered it, I got to discover it the way people heard it back then, and it was like, it blew me away. I mean, it was an experience. Yeah, the Wall too. Sorry, my computer's being slow. Went from learning Pink Floyd to Metallica, a bit of a jump, but well worth it. Okay. Good times. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Finally caught up. Now, let me continue with the unboxings, because this is the fun joke unboxing. And yes, I will compare that to Cold Seal in a second. But let me just finish up the second unboxing first. It is the Artisan Cutlery 1820M BGD. So it's the 1820 is the Proponent Micarta Burgundy. Okay. So here we go. Oh, look at that. Wow. I mean, Didn't Peter did? Yeah, that's right, Peter. You guys just went over Artisan Knives, and you were saying, I mean, oh, that burgundy is beautiful.
Beautiful mesmo.
Here we go. First flip. Let's see.
Uau.
Wow, look at that.
Oh,
Look at
top,
that.
amor, top.
You know, look
Olha
at that.
isso,
That's a
gente.
Peter size knife right there. Talk about a beefy knife.
Uau.
So this is one thing I love about the Proponent. I mean, you don't need this, but so what? I want it. You know?
Ela tem regulador?
you
Que é isso? Que
if
é
you
isso?
overdo, okay?
O que é isso que você tá desenroscando?
Olha, é fecha duplo, entendeu? É
Ah,
fixado, entendeu?
que
Olha,
estranho.
entendeu?
Estranho. Aham.
Pode
Nossa, essa
ver?
faca é muito. Posso? Sim.
So, oh, look, okay, talk about guillotine. That is, look, I mean, watch out. That will cut you. Oh yeah, speaking of, yeah. Okay, so on my defective thumb, you see that little nick right there? That's from the mini Proponent. I barely nicked it cutting up some cardboard. And I couldn't even feel it. That sucker was so doggone sharp. Okay, now let's do a real sharpness test, okay? So I have better expectations. Watch. Okay, you see? See the difference, guys? I mean, it just goes through like butter. It is liquid.
Oh.
Look at those tiny little curls. See that? You see? You see the difference? People who are like, cutting paper doesn't really show much. It doesn't show everything, but it shows a lot. It shows you something. It shows you a little more than something. On my other one, I put the this thing on the pocket clip. So, but so I think I threaded it actually through here. Oh, I know. I think I did like this. Yeah, that's how I did my. So let me compare the other. And it comes with the little baggie here. It comes with the do not eat. And here we go. Here's the the box, but it comes with this little thing here. Blade steel D2 59-61 HRC micarta, ceramic bearing liner lock, process CNC machine. So care and maintenance. And remember that that D2 is semi-stainless. It's whatever, chromium is whatever 12. I think the cutoff for stainless is 14. So D2 is not stainless. It's just not legally, technically stainless, but it's pretty darn close. It is stainless-ish, because even stainless is not stain-proof. It's not rust-proof. Its corrosion resistance is relatively high compared to carbon steels of old, where you look at the old pocket knives from back in the day, they always had that, patina on it because they were, high carbon versus, now we use molybdenum, or I don't know how to pronounce it. Molybdenum. No, I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm sorry. Molybdenum. No, I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, where is? Okay, here it is. No, yeah. Is this? Okay, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize I haven't EDC'd this in a long time. It is a huge difference. Take a look at that. So this is the original brown Carta mini Proponent SMKW exclusive. As you can see, that burgundy, it's definitely a wine colored The size difference is massive. I just realized it's very different. This has that beautiful orange backspacer, which I like better. Typically, I like the open design with the posts because the dirt doesn't get trapped up in there, you know. But this orange backspacer looks beautiful. Good Lord, that is a huge difference. Look at that. Look at that difference. Look at that difference. Can you see the difference? Can you tell? I think it's really hard to tell on screen. It's really, really hard to tell. It is a massive difference. I mean, they're like two different knives, honestly. I don't know how else to show you that.
Nossa, é simplesmente muito bonita essa faca. É incrível. Amor, essas são as minhas facas preferidas agora.
I was a little bit afraid. Você gosta disso?
Gosto.
I was
muito.
A little bit concerned that the Proponent would be just simply too big, because the mini Proponent is just perfect. As you can see, it's right there at the forefinger. It's like 3 7/8, you know, finger. So I thought, this is as perfect as I need. Like, I don't need to get any bigger than this. It's 3 inches. I always like to go, you know, err on the side of caution of go as small as you can get away with, because you're not going to bother carrying it if it's too big. Obviously, I don't know what this is going to be like in pocket because I just got it. That is a guillotine. And so this one obviously comes with the pin as well. So, you know, the pin goes right in there. So those are the two Artisan cutleries. This is the bag for my Benchmade, which I lost. It's in here somewhere, I think. I hope. So that's the Artisan Cutlery Proponent. I can dig up my OSS and compare it to the M-Tech if you would so like. I can do that. And let's see what the edge retention has been like on my mini Proponent as well, since I have used this to cut stuff up. So let's see how it's fared. I mean, no edge wear at all. Look at that. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong angle. I'm sorry, guys. Look at how. And also, you want to do it slowly, like I'm doing, because anyone can make it look nice by going fast. Like, oh, look how sharp it is. Like Andy on SMKW is always just, look how, oh, well, I'm not making it look good, but he's like, look at how sharp this is. Well, yeah, but you want to go slowly over the length of the blade, show what each part, if there's any nicks. Now I'm making it look bad. Well, it's also covered in gunk. I've got all this glue all over it. Anyone have any suggestions? What do you do with a dirty blade? Like, I know you come with the microfiber cloths, but then you get the glue all over the microfiber cloth. Do you take like alcohol wipes? What's the best way? Alcohol wipes to get rid of the glue? Is that the best way to get rid of gunked up glue? Because my knives get just gunked up with glue. Okay. Oh, EDC. You got to go. Okay, let's see. Sorry, let me see if I can try and catch up here real quick. It's a different song. I don't even know who. 90s girl band. Oh, cool. Okay, I learned the first one, the intro. First one was Seek and Destroy, great song. Okay, you guys are talking about. Oh, yeah, Metallica and stuff. Okay, that and one. Pin goes through left side. It has to go through the left side? Let's see. Yeah, it goes through that side, but it, oh, I see. It does go through all the way that way. Let me see. Was that? Yeah, it was. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, it was only going through part way. Yeah, you're right. Sorry about that. You're absolutely right. It does go through the left side. So, Thanks for that. You're right. Pin goes through left side. What's this? Oh, yes, Espanol. La gusta Navarre Grande.
Que
I have the
idiota.
mini in copper in my
Ah,
SMKW EDC Oz. I know you're probably leaving if you see this. I recommend getting the micarta. I got the copper small archeo, and in fact, I was bummed because originally I wanted the proponent in copper as well, and then I was bummed because it sold out very quickly. Then I was glad because then the brown micarta came out, and I was relieved because I was like, oh, good, because then I probably would not have gotten, this one, because I would have already had the brass one. I did get the small archeo, and I don't know. I think you mentioned that you don't mind the heaviness. I'm not. I've got very small brass and copper knives. The density, it's just copper is so dense and so heavy. I mean, I can't imagine a full proponent in brass. It will just be a brick. I mean, a brick. So I personally would not recommend it. Enter Sandman for the win. I know, right? Gamma, watch your mouth. Okay, those scales on that Rough Rider are beautiful, aren't they? On the Rough Rider. Which Rough Rider? On the micarta ones? I actually spent the money to buy the sheet tab music for the Black album to make sure I could learn it perfectly. That's cool. These days, they have tabs for free on YouTube, probably of varying quality. Definitely, yeah. Love overbuilt knives like the Proponent. I agree. There's something about the feeling of confidence when you're chopping through material. I feel like I can just go nuts, and I don't feel like anything's gonna happen to it. There's so much damn knife here, and I was, cutting through. I was doing some my homegirl. I was building some furniture and some appliances for her, and that industrial, the double walled whatever. It was going through that like butter. It's actually how I nicked my thumb because it was just going through it so fast. It was like I expected more resistance. I'm surprised that this grind, as thick as that blade stock is, was just going through the material. And I barely nicked it. In fact, I nicked it so barely and I felt nothing that I thought I didn't nick it. And now I still have a scar to this day. So stainless, exactly. Okay, here we go. Molybdenum. Is that kind of what I said? I think I kind of said that. Molybdenum. Yeah. Good night, man. Hopefully you heard my comment. I hope you don't get the brat. I mean, again, you say you like it. Who am I to say? I just would get so sick of it. I really would, because my favorite gentleman carry is the Boker Tech Tool in copper. Got beautiful patina. Even that little tiny slip joint is just so fucking heavy, and it's just like, fuck copper. It looks great, but fuck it. Okay. Lighter fluid works great for what? Lighter fluid. Oh, okay. Just like butane or any kind of gasoline type product. You're right. Okay. Soap and water in a little rag, then dry immediately. Okay. Thank you. Rubbing alcohol. Okay, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I was going to use. WD-40. Oh, yeah, because that's also another just like a petroleum, whatever. I've been eyeballing the Burgundy Proponent, but I already own a blackout one. Blackout, you mean with the G10 and it's got a blacked out blade? I didn't know that existed, but I mean, micarta is micarta. I mean, I don't like to double up on knives, even if they're just full and minis, but I'm just a sucker for micarta. And as you guys know, I'm just a huge critic of liner locks, and just it's so yesterday's technology. Like, give us different locking types already, but I love the mini Proponent. I love this blade shape. I love the thick blade stock, the jimping, the action, the micarta, the pin. You know, it's just one of those hard use knives that it's so overbuilt. It's so freaking overbuilt. The Proponent copper is almost a full pound. Yeah, exactly. All right. Good night. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. And yeah, hopefully you're feeling better. Yep, black G10, black blade, red pivot color. That sounds really cool. Again, I hate it when companies double dip like that, you know, because it's like, man, I already got. That's why, like, sometimes if I suspect they're gonna come out with a micarta, I wait. I'm like, you know, don't get me wrong, G10 is more than acceptable, but G10 does not compare to micarta. It does not compare. Period. Have you ever picked up a super eraser from those knife stores? They take stuff up, please. I haven't. I was gonna get the Case rust eraser because I have some rust I need to clean up. So I haven't done that yet. That's one of the things I need to do now. I just tend not to prioritize knife maintenance right now because, I mean, I could stick this thing in salt water for, you know, a year and yeah, it'll be ruined. But I also have frigging 500 other frigging knives that I can use as much as I love this, you know, which this doesn't need maintenance. I'm talking about some project knives that I have, some beat up old beater knives that I wanted to practice, you know, taking rust off, practice sharpening, just stuff like that. Some beater knives that I want to play around with and have fun with. So I think they take off as well. Yeah, that and the glue. I mean, the glue is not so much of a project. I just, because what I end up doing is I take it, whatever box I'm cutting up, I'll just like you know, because I don't want to bother. I'm a brute. I'm a guy, you know, and I'm brutal. I'm a savage, you know. I just I'm indelicate. I'm not gonna sit here and you know I'm not gonna do all that. I'm a guy, you know. That's just too much, you know. Which is why they got to overbuild these things because you know we don't take that good care of it. And I can see now. I've been thinking a lot about how Peter is like. I am so over high carbon steel. Like, you know, 1095 never again. You know, and now I'm starting to get like, okay, I'm increasingly starting to get it. He's just like, I don't need to sit there and oil my knives. Let the knives take care of their own damn selves. I got shit to do. I got to lay around and, you know, watch Netflix. Like I don't need to sit here and fucking oil my knives. You know, that's like why have a carburetor when you can have fuel injection, right? I don't want to sit here and do maintenance. Let me just have the car take care of itself, right? Likewise with the blade steels, I'm starting to see his point, and you know he's at a pretty sophisticated level of knife collecting at this point. He's done it for long enough. He's seen enough knives. He's seen a lot of high-end knives. He knows very specifically what does and doesn't work for him. You know, these non-deep carry pocket tactical things. He's just like, I don't care. I'm not going to get in a knife fight. I've been a bouncer at clubs. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need to deploy my knife that fucking quickly. So, you know, he has a very clear, you know, idea of what he wants and doesn't want and needs and doesn't need. And again, that's pretty sophisticated. I'm still very much at that. I very much still want to play around with 1095 with the high carbon steels. And I have my story as to why, because when I was a really young kid in the 90s during the whole Rambo period, I read this, I'm assuming must have been an extremely influential article. This guy wrote about how is the K-bar Marine Raider knife, you know, the combat knife, is this yesterday's knife design? And he absolutely tore it apart. And he argued in favor of the kukri. And that's where I first learned about The fact that, for example, stainless steel, especially at that time, is not as good as, as a high carbon steel in terms of its performance, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, except for the fact that it needs more, and that was a huge revelation to me as a kid. Like, I didn't know that stainless steel was more brittle and was more chippy, and it lacked toughness and blah 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 blah. I didn't know that, and I found out later, because I think we used to, like, I don't know why, I think we used to throw our Rambo knives into like brick walls. I have a recollection. I think we did something really stupid like that and broke them. Like, we were just kids, we were like 12-year-old kids with wilding out. Let me look for the cold steel. I believe the cold steel is...
Qual das cold steel agora? Sua caixa de faca.
Eu vou fazer a comparação entre essa faca e o cold steel de antes.
Entendi.
Se eu pude procurar, eu não lembro.
Tá dentro da sua caixa.
Hã?
Caixa de manchete. Box and manchete.
Ah, você acha?
Sim.
Okay, here's the cold steel OSS. This is, of course, the double-edged, and I just realized it's probably not even full tang. So it's this Craton / Grivex. Look at the contouring. They get that great. I forgot. They have that great swell. So obviously it's not going to be a full tang. It's probably like a rat tail tang, 3/4 tang, which, this is a full tang. So they're giving you a big chunk of steel. It's probably 440A, but then again, they don't even say. So who knows? It could be a 420J. Look at that. It's also much bigger. So I think this is 11.5. I think this is 12. And it's also much taller, as you can see. Much thicker blade stock. Way heavier. So if weight is an issue, this is super light. This is almost, let's see where the balance is. Yeah, its balance is probably, it's really like balanced right in the middle. Yeah. So this definitely is almost evenly balanced because of this pocket wood. And as long as it's a solid piece of this pocket wood. And also, does anyone know, I asked this in one of the lives as well. Did Frostwood come out first with his stabilized Frostwood, and then other people, when they made it, they had to come up with their own word, and so that's where pocket wood came up as the generalized name for that type of resin impregnated stabilized wood? The stuff is indestructible. They use it on a lot of kitchen knives. It's good stuff. I don't have a problem with it. To me, next to, I'd say, micarta and then G10, I kind of like pocket wood because I know that it's going to be very, very, very durable. Okay. Sorry, what happened here? Okay, yeah. What's this? That's what they take off as well. Oh, right. Okay, where'd everyone go? It's okay. He explores sometimes. Let's see. Trying to edit and listen at the same time. And failing? Oh, because you're having trouble concentrating? I go on and on. I mean, you got this. There's no room for failure. You guys are so silly.
Estou visible.
Então, você lembra essa faca?
Lembro.
Lembro. And I really did get this, A, because it was on sale. B, it's literally only my second sub-hilt. So I wanted to kind of make a comparison. And B, I suspected it was bigger, but I didn't suspect it was that much bigger. It's significantly bigger. Hold on. Let's see if it shows. Can you tell? It's taller, thicker, longer. Although, of course, this is your double-edged. I mean, obviously, I'd take this, and this is Oss 8A. This is your unnamed stainless steel. Makes me think it is a 440A. Oh, wait. Hold on. I think I did a sharpness test on the cold steel. I don't remember, but we can check now. Draperies. Yeah, see that difference? Let's do the back end.
Isso é uma das diferenças.
The back end is. The back end isn't too great. It's okay. It's probably largely me. It seems a little rougher. It might be me. I might just not be doing very well. Yeah, it doesn't. I think it is the back. I'll use this thicker stuff. Yeah, see? It's okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. The front, it doesn't compare to the downward. Is that the front or the bottom edge? The top edge? It definitely does not compare. It doesn't compare at all. It's decently sharp. Anyway, this goes in here. Comparison of sheaths. They have that Secure X. It's got that belt loop. I wonder if you could scout carry that. Most people probably would not want to scout carry it. I would. You have to be careful about scout carry, though, because you could injure your back if you fall on it. So let's see. At least it's the listening I'm failing at this time, at least. Yeah, don't fail on your editing, man. That's more important. I am looking for Machete to destroy some weeds. What is your recommendation? Okay. Do you want to spend a lot or not? I'd say get your okay, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, which I don't recommend, because you've got here your Ontario. This is what, $18? It's your high carbon steel. It's got your concave edge. This is the 12-inch one. They have an 18-inch one as well with the Latin style guard. This is made in the US. It's a 1070, I think. This is the Gavilon di Incoma. A lot of people swear by this. This is what shows up at like feed stores and everything. I'm pretty sure it's not a stainless steel. I'm pretty sure it's a high carbon steel because it's got a patina all over it like crazy. But mine came with just a nasty, nasty edge. I mean, they basically didn't finish grinding it. There's this horrible burr, just like a waterfall on the other side. It definitely needs to be cleaned up. The grind is awful. However, people swear by it. And it is high carbon. I would recommend for the same price as this is $10. The Gavilan is $10 at SMKW. I personally recommend the Tramontina from Brazil, which is a stainless steel. So, again, machetes, yeah, I can understand you want a high carbon steel will be more effective for you. It's more maintenance. But the Tramontina, once again, people swear by the Tramontina, especially in Brazil. And yes, Brazil is where the Amazon is. So It's meant to be a worker, and the grind on the Tramontina is clean. The fit and finish is clean. So for the same price, I would recommend Blade HQ, the $10 Tramontina. Now, a lot of people like the cold steel machetes. I've heard a lot of complaints that there's basically no grind to it. Some people don't love the cold steels, but again, they are also affordable. They're made in South Africa, so a lot of people assume that it's made by Okapi because Okapi makes machetes. So there's that. Also, lastly, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? What was the other one? Machetes, cold steel. What was the other thing I was going to mention?
Vou fazer xixi.
So the Tramontina is $10. Oh yeah, and if you want to spend more, for $20 you can get a marbles machete, which again, a lot of people buy those because they're $20. They're super cheap to replace. You know, if they break, you literally don't have to worry about it. So a lot of people like that. I'm thinking for literally half, you can literally buy 2 of these for the price of 1 marbles. And I don't think that the quality is twice as good in the marbles. But again, I've never heard anyone complain about a marbles. It's only $20. It's just a good user machete to hack away, foliage. So, again, machetes are cheap for a reason. They're meant to be used brutally and then replaced. You can get high-end machetes, but and uncut, what does that mean? The Schrade Priscilla. Okay, I have that as well. Yeah, exactly. The Priscilla is around 20. You can get it as low as $28 or $25 even. I got it on sale for I think 25. The Priscilla is Schrade ended up releasing it as a machete because it's easier to sell as a machete, but the designer, he really did mean for it to be a sword. That's why the ergos on it and its nimbleness is quite nice. A lot of people like the Priscilla. Its nimbleness is good. I think it was even in $10.95. It's in my machete box. But again, that's $30. Again, you can get 3 of these for that. Is it 3 times as good? It definitely has, some brutal recurves and some great points. And so it's probably more versatile in its ability to cut and hack and chop. So if you want to experiment with that blade shape, it's worth checking out. It has an interesting but awkward sheath system. I could show it to you. Do you want me to pull it out? Ontario. The Ontario sounds like winter to me, and the Priscilla looks awesome. Yeah. So this is the 12-inch one, a little bit heavy because it's got a big, thick blade stock. So this is your traditional Latin style machete. Can you see the flex? Okay. This is so it doesn't get stuck in anything, right? This Ontario, there's 0 flex. Okay. As you can see, the blade stock and the tip basically doesn't exist. Can you see that? Can you see? There's basically no tip. I don't know if it's just mine, but as you can see, there's no distal tapering on that tip. It doesn't really even come to a point. Now, it makes sense because you literally are not stabbing with a machete. I mean, literally, that's not what it is. This is big, thick stock. This Ontario machete, it's part chopper. If you look at it, it's not really just a machete. You can do some light chopping, some medium light chopping with that. This is really a true machete for thin foliage. This is more of a machete / almost chopper. It's a big, thick chunk of high carbon steel with with a pretty nice concave grind on it. I don't think cold steel stuff is as good as this Ontario, and it's about the same price, about $20 like $18. Oh yeah, that's right. The Priscilla, is it 3CR, 3CR, 5CR? I did that for about 5 years before I turned it this year. Yeah, somebody else used the Priscilla for like 10 years, beat all the shit, and finally replaced it. But it works real good. I've seen only positive. Yes, whip out the Priscilla. Okay, let me go get that. It's 3CR13. Don't shy away from 3CR13 when it comes to machetes, because you want the toughness. You know, you don't want too high of a carbon steel that it might chip out or break. You know, you want it to just roll so you can sharpen it out. Tramontina 1070 steel. Oh, it is? Okay, I'll pull mine out. Mine looks stainless to me. Okay, there it might. Hey, K Mason, it might be a different one, because when I look at mine, I cannot imagine it's a high carbon steel, because you'll see it's almost got like a polish finish. Let me whip it out real quick.
Vai pegar outra manchete?
É.
Virou manchete de jornais. Boto meu coração pra todo mundo ver, porque amo você. Autoridades incompetentes, saibam que vocês não passam de cobardes para brigar. Para brigar. Autoridades incompetentes, acho que vocês estão em fila e a fila não incomoda. E a fila não incomoda. Nossa, não para de chover, caramba. Chove, chuva. Chove sem parar.
Chove, chuva. Chove sem parar.
Por favor, chuva ruim. Vá, molha meu amor assim. Canta Rick Martin. 1, 2, 3. Canto no debate, Maria. 1, 2, 3. Passinho para trás. 1, 2, 3. Passinho para trás, Maria. 1, 2, 3. Passinho para trás. Eu quero apoiar. Conhece Rick Martin? As pedidas de Marcos. E assim.
Okay, so here's the Gerber Bolo. If you guys remember, I just did an unboxing of this. This is probably 420 HC. Can't remember. Actually, for some reason, I remember thinking that this Bolo machete is actually high carbon steel, uncharacteristic for Gerber, but I think they actually used a high carbon steel for this, and it's got actually kind of a beefy, like nice padded sheath. So here's the Priscilla. This is what I was telling you. The original version, these clips fit in that channel, but the newest version, they're just slightly long. So I just put these silly little what do you call those, split rings to connect it. Most people just take it off, and there's that beautiful blade shape. As you can see, that recurve is going to give you a lot like a kukri type action. So this might well be worth your experimenting, because it's got some belly there, And then it's got this great recurve, which is going to increase your cutting power significantly, just because of the pure geometry of it. Let's compare it to this Elk Ridge. This is Master Cutlery's brand. And this is their Parang, which again is the sub $20 range. And it's got this, you can put a stick in there. Do you draw cuts with it like this? The grip on the handle is very nice, and it's got that guard as well if you're afraid of them. And Parangs are from, whatever, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, etc., where they want more of a chopper than just a pure machete. So you need to think about what kind of foliage you're dealing with. I can't remember. I think you're in Arizona. So I don't know what the foliage around there is, whether you need more of a thin South American style machete or whether you need more of a Southeast Asian jungle type chopper. So each region has developed the sorts of blades, thicknesses, shapes, designs that you see, precisely because here's the marbles. This is their bolo, I think. Yeah, this is their bolo. So what's cool about this is that it's sharpened all the way here. So that's something to consider as well. If you want that sharpened top where you're going to have tons of chopping power, if it's just mostly lots of thin foliage, that's going to give you twice the cutting power in terms of that upstroke. You're going to be able to clear some stuff too. That's twice the efficiency of movement, right? So, this might be something. It's $20, This is the MA33514, okay? And it's got this, shitty wood handle, but you just put some linseed oil, mineral oil. They paint the end, so that'll help preserve that from rot. You could sand it off as well and put your own finish on it. But, Marble sells a butt ton of these. And it comes with a sharpening stone, so you can hone it in the field, which, who knows, you may or may not want to do, but it's up to you. Not so sure about the sheath, if it's supposed to go in that deeply. I kind of can't tell. Then you can stick, matches or whatever in there, make a little survival thing out of it. But there's your Priscilla. And, people aren't too thrilled with this retention either, because it's easy to slice off, It's got this TPE. It's, probably the tang goes, 3/4 or more. It's got this, somewhat usable, somewhat functional strap. But as you can see, it's designed to be held like a sword, because that's really what he wanted to make, a sword. And that's why they call it the brush sword. That's sort of a compromise. I think Schrade kind of wanted more of a machete style of thing. So, you've also got your... show you the this one. This is the K-Bar Cutlass Machete. So instead of the I don't know if you want. Oh, here it is. So their combat machete is the exact same length, but as you can see, that's a true chopper. This, I would say, this is their combat machete. This one is their Cutlass Machete. This is probably a little bit more practical as like a brush clearing machete. This is more of like a true chopper. I mean, the weight on this one really, really drives forward. So that recurve is going to give you that massive cutting power, whereas this is much more like the brush sword. So it doesn't have that forward cant, but it still gives you that recurve to increase your chopping power just by pure geometry, as opposed to this is fully canted forward. As you can see, look at that blade. See how far forward the blade is? See how far forward it cants down? I mean, this is literally for chopping heads off of cows and such. I mean, this is meant to be a chopper, right? This is a little bit more versatile, less one-sided, right? This is really just for chopping. This and it if it isn't heavier, it feels heavier because of that forward. This is going to be more efficient because it's more balanced in the hand. So those are some of your considerations. And the sheaths are nice. I actually like these part leather, part nylon sheaths. I just feel like they're really practical and durable. I just feel like they're very user friendly. These clips are leather. The danglers are leather. It's riveted. It feels really sturdy to me. I feel like I can have a lot of confidence in this type of sheath, that because all leather has its downsides, because once the leather deteriorates, it's finished. Nylon has its downsides, but it's more or less indestructible. So it's kind of a happy, to me, it's kind of a happy medium or happy compromise. So sorry, I know I'm way back. Oh, the Tramontina. I need to show the Tramontina. That's what I need to show. Okay. So this is the Tramontina. I mean, look at that polish. That's a 1070? How could a 1070 have that high of a gleam? I mean, is it possible? Am I mistaken? That to me looks like a stainless steel blade, 100%. And like I said, the fit and finish on this. Oh, I put the Gavilan away. It's basically identical to the Gavilan, but the fit and finish on the GRN is way better. The grind way better. And the maintenance should be a lot easier, because I don't think that, I mean, can you get 1070 to look like that? I could be, I'm sorry, I could be way wrong on that. And I apologize, but it just doesn't seem like it would. Like the Priscilla got replaced by the Condor Galloc Machete. You know what, Grumpy? I feel like I saw your video. Was your video the one where you did it in the back bed of your truck, where you had the the plastic liner? Is that you? The Priscilla got replaced by the Condor Galloc Machete. I think that was your video that I'm thinking about. That's so funny. Small world, right? Canta como Ricky Martin. Olha! Zumbi!
Eu cantei!
Vai.
Eu já cantei. Você não escuta?
Editing done on the ABK Grunt. I like that, except for shooting the thumbnail. Yeah, I have several ABKT as well. Again, they have some very original, creative, ultra budget options. I'm not mad at ABKT at all. I have like their push dagger, super affordable. I never shoot a thumbnail anymore. I just choose one of the three YouTube gives me. Yeah, me too. Actually, I don't choose them anymore at all. Now I'm just one and done. Just say upload, yes, done. I just don't have the time or the wherewithal to like get too bogged down in the details. And I'm sorry. Yeah, good singing. Dang, that Priscilla looked awesome in hand. Yeah, I think I was telling you when I did the unboxing, I'm telling you. So this feels like a typical just sort of chopping machete, but the Priscilla, it feels so nimble. There's something about it that makes you want to just have the Tramontina makes you just want to go whack, which is exactly what it's designed for. But this makes you want to do more fluid movements, because it's lighter and nimble and more nimble. And the way that the material was taken off right? In the ways that it was. He wants to give you material right behind the belly and takes off more material where there isn't. So the designing of it, it's so much different than anything else that you've seen here. Nothing else feels like this in terms of the way it flows in your hand and the way in which it becomes an extension of your arm in your hand. So, if you want to check out what this feels like, it would be worth it as an unusual comparison to anything else you'll ever hold, because nothing else is like it that I know of. And that's affordable. I'm not going to pay a shitload of money for something. Something about YouTube sucks. Yeah. Oh yeah. Join FairTube, guys, because YouTube is a fascist tyranny. Is a private authoritarian tyranny hellhole. I mean, they get to decide everything. YouTube sucks at the thumbnails for me. They make no sense. Yeah, I know. Because it's just an algorithm. I'm interested in the Axe Shetty Marbles has the Axe Shetty. Is that the survival axe? I have the survival axe. I can show you that as well. My best friend carries the Fiskars Machete. Yeah, things when we forget. Things when okay, my friend carries the Fiskars Machete when we forage. Man, oh, you don't like it? I was gonna get one actually. That Fiskars Machete with the sort of the hatchet head on the end. I thought it looked really practical. Its design looked like. Unfortunately, yep, that was you. Okay, I can't. Okay, tell those weeds to have at the. I know, huh? You're gonna get all Shakespearean. So yeah, you might like this one because, for your sake, I think again, you can get 3 of these Tramontinas for the price of this, but the Tramontina will never feel the way this does in hand. The way it moves, the balance of where he puts the material, and also obviously take a look at the handle. Is just a straight handle here. Take a look at that handle. Look at that curve in that. It just makes you want to wield it. Now, it may not be more practical for clearing brush. Through experience, you might find I just need something straight. I don't need all this. But that's something that you might want to experiment. And also remember, everyone's ergonomics is different, which is the beauty and the curse of ergonomics, that to a certain extent, certain things do work. Like having a thin area on the hilt is ergonomic, but the degree and where that's going to be true is always going to depend on the person. So to a certain extent. Okay, yeah. Quanto tempo? Já 1h30. Okay, I think the Priscilla is the winner here. Plus, it looks to be a good self-defense. Absolutely. So there you go. This is going to do double duty for you because it's designed with enough metal and enough material and thickness to go ahead and do brush clearings, even some light chopping. But it's definitely self-defense oriented because it's actually meant to be sort of a short sword. And, it's got this interesting recurve. So it'll be interesting to sharpen. You're going to need a ceramic rod or whatever. Experiment with this. Have some fun with it. See, I'm telling you, you've got to try this handle. This handle, it's, it gives you varying grips. If you're going to just do some work with it, it's got this pommel or something. So no, it wouldn't. You get yourself a plastic one. I would get a plastic machete for that. Shower, and that's Neves. Neves has a shower machete. I have a shower tanto. I'm very Jon Snow-esque, meaning I know nothing about any of this. Is that it? I'm sorry. I've seen the first few seasons, but I was also very high. So I don't know that I remember. I'm not going to say I have used my Priscilla to baton some small firewood, but I totally did. Yeah, I agree. This is just thick enough that you can definitely do some harder work with it. It's not, in other words, it's a little bit more than a machete. You know, obviously you would never want a baton with machete. No one would think to, right? Because it's not meant for that. Look at the flexibility on this. Look at the flex on that blade. You want that because you don't want it to get stuck in anything, right? You want it to whip through, whip through, whip through. You want that flexibility because it also increases its toughness as well. You don't want it to snap, you know, if you accidentally hit something. So, oh, hey. Put your hair in part of it. Yeah. Hey. Do any of us really, though? Wait. Do any of us what? Hold on. Did I miss Winchester's earlier comment? Let's see. I'm not going to say. Oh. Okay, yeah. Sorry, you were okay. It was Winchester that made the Jon Snow comment. I should have known. I was like, that came from nowhere. That came from right field. Of course, it's Winchester. I was in for a bit and working and just ordered. Good, Ian. Go for it. Where did you get it? At SMKW, Amazon? And hey, man, we're selling some Priscillas today, and you do want to jump on it because if I'm not mistaken, I think they're discontinuing it. Am I wrong in thinking that they're discontinued? Where'd you get it from? Yeah, where did you, Ian? Where'd you get your Priscilla from? I think I got mine on sale for like $25.
Priscilla.
Hey, Todd. Todd, did you want to see neck knives or fixed knives? I can't remember. I think you wanted to see, was it choppers for your friend? Something that he could carry as a chopper? Order on the Evil Empire, Amazon. Yeah, I know. If you don't mind sharing the price with us. Because I believe, like I said, I got mine on sale at SMKW for, I think, $25. I think. I could look it up, you know, if it was important. Or you could just look at the old unboxing video. I'm sure it's labeled in there somewhere. We should start a channel about sharp things or something. I know, right? And chopping things. 35. Okay. Yeah, that's about right. You know, Amazon, sadly, they usually have about as good a pricing as it gets. About. Sometimes you can find it for a little bit cheaper, but they are what they are because they have very, very competitive pricing. You know, they're not the price to beat always, but they're right about there. And with cold steel, they are. Here's the Triad kukri. This is, again, in high carbon steel. I think, believe it or not, I think this was like $10.95. Triad has surprising a lot of very affordable blades at $10.95. And this thing was also very inexpensive, $20, $25, $30. Very inexpensive. And was it Todd that wanted his friend has a tree, he works in tree trimming, and he needs a fixed blade for chopping things. And I was okay. Oh wait, there we go. Let me see. Let's see what he says. I have lots of choppers up here. It's hardwood, a little bit of softwood. Yeah, but but I guess it wasn't you. Someone was asking in a live, hey, I'm looking for a fixed blade for my friend who chops wood and wants to know which one. And I was kind of trying to think about it. You know, it's almost like depends on what your price point is, but you know, something like the K-bar kukri would probably be an effective chopper. Yeah, I say, Grumpy Grant, your ID picture is pretty dope.
Eu tô com sono. Amor.
Você quer dormir?
Não, eu quero ver filme.
Tá bom.
Quero ver filme eu quero terminar de ver o filme de tarde.
So next time, hopefully, I can cover some neck knives because there was also somebody in one of the lives that was asking about neck knives, and I have a ludicrous collection of neck knives. You know, so one of my favorite neck knives is the CRKT. Has a whole bunch of really great neck knives. This is one of my favorites. The CRKT Ruger collaboration. I think there's the carbine. It's got that great forward choil. I like this better than the minimalist. You know, it's got that perfect little belly. It's got this sort of what do you call that? Inset, whatever the recessed. I think it's G10 or FRN or whatever. And you know, this is a great little, very positive retraction. It's a nice little knife. And then on the very super tiny end, you've got the for neck knives, or for small fixed blades anyway. You've got your Boker Little Friend, which was one of my most EDC. This was sort of my original neck knife back in the day. There goes that. This is probably one of the smallest usable neck knife fixed blades that I know of, right? So take a look at it. They call that arrowhead. They call that an arrowhead. It's kind of a spear point, sort of a clip point / spear point / drop point. I don't know. They call it an arrowhead, and it's tiny. It's basically a 2.5 finger knife, but it's a user. This was my original neck knife. And then they have the Little Friend sort of plus that has these really thick G10 slabs on it. Here. So here's the sort of upgraded version of the little buddy. It's got a very similar type, but more of a pure spear point. And then these two big thick slabs of G10 that definitely increase the purchase by quite a lot. And it's utterly tiny, as you can see. It's very, very, very discreet. Not phenomenal, but it's also real Kydex.
Dá para fazer de colar essa faca.
Colar, ok?
Colar. De tão pequena.
Oops, ID picture for my channel. Yeah, I think we were talking about Schrade knives and China, how it's great for the price. Yeah, and it's a mixed bag. I'm not quite sure. Some people say Schrade does a perfectly decent, hey, Goondocks, you're back. Perfectly decent heat treat, in which case, if they do have a decent heat treat, trade fixed blades at $10.95, you can get them for $30. It's unbelievable. They have incredible value. Is this the dark web? Oh, good Lord. Okay. Or did you find that old military ID I lost and got in trouble for? Oh, good Lord. It's like an ape or something with the G's composing the eyes and nose. Yeah, I can't quite figure it out either. I guess it is like a gorilla, isn't it? I think you were asking about the SCHF 52 in particular. I might have been, yeah, because I've been looking at that. But I want the micarta handle one. That's the thing. And the research cordite around here somewhere. Yeah, I have that too. It's over there. That's the one with the paracord, but it's much bigger than the carbine. It's almost a full-size neck knife, right? That's a good one too. The cordite is really nice. And of course, I have the someone wanted to see the Artisan Sea Snake. This is, the neck knife to end all neck knives. I mean, this is the all blacked out version I got out from Blade Show West. I got it from Michael Emler directly. It's a full 4-finger knife. This is the neck knife to end all neck knives, in my opinion, because I love Wharncliffe's. I absolutely, and it's that ARPM9 steel, which is a powdered version of basically 9CR, 10CR, which is dramatically going to improve its performance. Of course, I've got here the This is the Bradley Necker, the Bradford rather, in Elmax, that black stonewash. I don't know what to do about that, if I'm going to put scales on it or whatever, but that's an Elmax. So that's a, but this is, $100. So, and then, I mean, I got so doggone many more. It's ludicrous how many more neck knives I have. I have another several dozen. The one next to your name in the chat, for example, mine's a purple circle with a white W. What knife do I carry the most? I'll be honest, the knife I carry the most are my, I carry my Orion Solaris because I like to fidget with it, right? I love to fidget with it. It's Sandvik steel. It's a good user, and it's not so pricey that I'm afraid to replace it if I lose it, because mostly like my Benchmades and all my other stuff I leave at home. I'm just afraid of losing it. And then the Kaiser Swayback EDC most frequently because I added that quick stud to it. So I love the action, and it's micarta, and I love micarta. And then otherwise, the thing I throw into my pocket when I'm just running out the door is one of my newest knives. I bought this. It's the SRM front flipper. It's the 9225. I mean, I don't really like blue. I wouldn't have bought blue personally. It's got a very smooth axis lock. It's a front flipper. I don't like front flippers, but I got this off of Canadian Cutting Edge, and he put his own edge on there, and it's fucking brutally sharp. So I like to use this a lot because it just slices through everything. So I want to start sharpening more of my knives now, because this thing is just a joy to cut with. Again, cheapy knife, $25. Kind of space agey. Debatable on whether I like the looks of that or not. Anodized aluminum clip. You get a lot of value here, and that hollow grind is just a beast. The point on this, the slicing on this is just a beast. But I don't carry my cold steels. I just don't need to. I don't carry, like I said, I don't carry my Benchmades. I don't carry my, only for special occasions. And I have the CRKT going heavy. I've never carried that. It's a big, brutal folder, which I love, and I just flip open sometimes just to look at it because it makes me smile. But talk about overbuilt. That's one of those really overbuilt knives. Yes, sir. It's a drawing I did on the back of a napkin and cleaned up on the computer. Cool. I'm fancy. It's supposed to be a mandrel. Yeah, it does look like a mandrel. Well, I think that's what people were saying. It does, in fact, look like a mandrel. I didn't quite know, but until someone mentioned, kind of looks like an ape or something. But yeah, I think it absolutely does. And that's cool. How'd you find your spirit animal? Jeez. You could lash that to a stick in a pinch. Which one? You mean the Bradford? Certainly. I think Hannah Materials is overrated. Why pay so much more for micarta or G10 as opposed to FRN or Grivex? I'll tell you exactly why. Here's why. I hate to say it, because what am I doing? It's not even a flipper. I love the Shark Lock. I've said it here before. This is the next big thing. The Shark Lock is to knife technology what the Buck 110 backlock was. I mean, this is the future. Okay, it's super fidgety, super solid. But look at this. Look at this. Can you see that? I mean, it's not even, it's like 1/4 of a millimeter of flex. I mean, it's next to no flex at all, but you can fucking feel it. Can you see that? I'm sorry. If I was picky, like some of these knife snobs out here are, I would be railing against this. I would be absolutely fucking furious. I can imagine. I don't go on Reddit or anything. Things play. I think that it's a very toxic knife snob culture, and I just don't want to be around it. It's just not that serious to me. I mean, I have, as you can see, I have so many hundreds of fucking knives. I don't need any one knife to be, I've got now the mini Proponent and the Proponent. I have enough overbuilt to last me a fucking lifetime. Okay, if I have 100 kids, they will all have enough overbuilt knives to last them a lifetime. They don't need every single knife. But this, I'm sorry, is a fucking joke. And I'm not saying it's gonna break, but it's just disconcerting. It's like I paid $150 for a cheap piece of shit fucking plastic. I'm sorry, it's a fucking joke for such an incredible lock, incredible action. I love the action on this. I'm not disappointed in this knife. I'm not even one of these people out here like, how could they charge so much? I mean, I kind of get why they can charge so much. That doesn't excuse the fact that that little wafer thin fucking Grivex is a fucking clown show for this otherwise tank of a knife. It's like having a Rolls Royce on, those little Frisbee spare tires. It's just like, hey, weakest link, man. This thing is a tank otherwise. Even the Oss 10 is not so bad. Some people have said that their Oss 10 isn't so great, but I got one of the later batches. I think there's nothing wrong with it. The action is unbelievable. I marvel at this knife. This is pretty much one of my most favorite knives. It's pretty much one of my most flipped knives, and it's one of the few knives that are in the $150 range that I actually do EDC just because I love it that much. And I use it to slice, and I actually use it as well because I love it so much. I love it so much I don't even want to baby it like I baby 90% of my other knives. But this cheap fucking piece of little plastic ass, puny ass, little weenie ass Grivex does not do it justice. Whereas this Kaiser, which is half the price, this material, this micarta, here's another thing, Goondogs. The other thing too is I have hyperhidrosis. It's just a genetic condition where my hands and feet, I have perpetually clammy hands. So for me, micarta it feels like, how fun is it to wear sneakers without socks? It's disgusting after a while, right? To me, that's what micarta feels like. It's like wearing nice plush socks when I'm wearing shoes. It allows me to maintain a nice grip. These FRN, if it weren't for this texture, would just be nasty. It would just be like slippery in my hand. I can't tell you how wonderful this micarta feels in my hand. I mean, as you can see, it's all patinaed up. It's soaking up all my hand oils because I've got plenty, I assure you. I don't even, use lotion or whatever. Like my hands fucking just sweat endlessly. It will never stop, right? There's two versions of hyperhidrosis. You probably have friends who just, if they go out within 10 minutes, they just soak straight through their shirt. They're just dripping wet. You've got hyperhidrosis, either the whole body or of your extremities. So I happen to have the kind that you have on your, extremities. And so, this micarta, and I love how it's as durable and strong as, FRN or whatever, but has as much fibrousness, that absorbability, that porousness that natural materials would have. What do you think of that Civivi Minimus? They're finally doing. They were getting kind of sameness for a while, and that's finally getting back onto a more original. They're pushing the envelope more, and it's a nice, beautiful design. Again, I'm just not gonna spend much time on liner and frame locks unless they're offering something really special like the Proponent. Getting ready to sell all of my Warnies, including my Sea Snake and We Rock 4. Why? What have you got against Warnies? Why don't you like Warncliffs? I love them. Schrade knives usually come in grippy, something like a more companion handle, and in micarta usually using by M after the number. Right. And I mean, they've got $30 fixed blades that are $10.95 in micarta. I can't believe the value sometimes. I only have a CRKT Minimalist, just one. Yeah, I have three. I have the both of the special edition glow in the dark ones, the gears, right? The gears, the green one is the gears, the blue one is the Cthulhu. You guys always have to correct me. And then I got the CRKT exclusive, once again, Micarta and D2. So the big complaint about the CRKT is that it's 5CR. So Blade HQ has a D2 version exclusive, but it still has the FRN. SMKW has the D2 upgraded steel stonewashed, but it has the micarta. And again, for me, that textury, that cloth, it almost feels like cloth. That porous, grippy micarta is just, this is so solid. I love the SMK1 version. They did it right over there. They figured out how to improve it. What do you use to organize all your stuff? I have several those under the bed Tupperwares. I have several of those, and I have a whole bunch. I have like a dozen or more of these fake ammo cans, and I've got the fake Pelican cases, and then I've got these dollar store storage bins that have a handle on top that are clear, which is really helpful. And then lots of dollar store drawers and crates. I've even got, for my traditionals, I've got one of these. These mostly suck. They're very, very, very cheap, but they mostly suck, and they're pretty much only for traditionals. So I've got a lot of my traditionals here. And then I've got about 16 knife rolls, I've got the Blade HQ, the extra large one. I don't know if you know, that started off as a joke. They did I think it was an April Fool's video once where they made an extra large knife roll that goes literally from the top of the door, literally right down to the bottom. And sure enough, people were asking, like, where do I get one of those? And so they manufactured one. And I got one of the second run runs, and that filled up right away. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got about 8, 9, 10. I've got about a dozen of those knife rolls. So yeah, and a lot of them are doubled up. And then I also went to like Ross and bought. They have these hangers that for girls to put makeup in with zippers and little clear pockets. Clear pockets is key so that you can see what's there. Because it just gets out of control when you can't see what's where. So yeah, it's out of control. How much for the Roxy for Grumpy? The grippy stuff is great at shock absorption, but micarta is going to last way longer. Yeah, I mean, micarta I think it's more or less indestructible because it's that resin impregnated natural materials. Not sure yet. I just I'm letting it go. Thinking about trying to wrangle a trade for a Shaman and S90V. Woo! I would trade a lot for a Shaman and S90V. I sure would. I carry my Cold Steel Black Talon 2 every day in my left pocket. It's my please fuck with me blade. My right pocket, I switch them every day or so. Cool. Yeah, if you'll remember, Goondocks, the Black Talon 2 was my first good Cold Steel. So my first Cold Steel I went the cheapest. I said, let's check this out, and I hated it. It was the Pro Light. Awful knife. Mine was particularly bad. It's impossible to deploy. It's just a horrible knife. But then I got the Black Talon 2, and I was like, oh fuck, there's something to this. Like, the action on these how Cold Steel is able to get such good action out of such a heavy duty knife, especially with a backlock, is beyond me. And the Black Talon 2 got me hooked. That's when I got all my other Cold Steels, and I love them. And that was my going to the ATM knife because I have to walk across this huge homeless encampment. Not that they're going to do anything, but you don't want to be without if you need it. That was my self-defense knife for a long time. They're my spirit animal because they don't give and they would rather rip your face off than look at you. Yeah, I found out most animals would if they can't run away. Let's see. For my money, it's got to be the Triad Lock. Well, yeah. But okay, do you know what the Shark Lock is? The Shark Lock, okay, so the Triad Lock. Okay, so first you had the Triad Lock, then they came out with the 8015, right? So they took, so see the pin in, can you see the pin in there? Yeah, see that pin? And then this part raises up, okay? So this became, they took the Triad Lock and then they put the pivot hinge down here so that the release would be up here. So, but this is still a Triad Lock in terms of its lockup, right? So they had you lift this entire G10 slab for the 8015, right? That became sort of the newer way of affecting a triad lock in terms of triad, meaning a triad, right? Between the pin, the tang, and the lock, right? So, right, that's where, bam. Now they took this, and when they came out the 8020 with the shark lock, they essentially, this part here is this part here, except the spring is right here. Does that make sense? So all of these are in fact triad lockups, not the triad lock TM, but it's a triad-ing lock in terms of his innovation of adding the 3 points, which significantly increased its power, because what it's doing is it's forcing you to have to shear a pin in order to shear it. That, which is why whenever these things, they test these things to fail, it usually shears right here before anything else. Usually the blade stock itself shears before the pin does, for obvious reasons of metallurgy and physics. Do you mean that other companies are going to make their own versions of that lock? One day. I mean, unless it's trademarked, which he might, you know, like no one can use the Spidey hole, which is ridiculous, a fucking circular hole in the blade, but let's not get into intellectual property. But if this is merely a patent, yeah, like the Axis lock, like the compression lock, soon everyone will be able to make it. I don't know if it's trademarked or if it's copyrighted. There's legal things there with intellectual property. Who knows? If it's just a simple patent, then eventually it will run out and eventually people will get to make their own. The price doesn't pop. I wouldn't buy it, but if you guys do, I hope you enjoy. You mean the 20.5 or the Grivery or what? I said it's $100 knife at best. You mean this? I agree. This is at most $100 knife. But the reason why I'm not complaining about the $150 price tag is it's the only way to get that thing. It's the only fucking way. So if you're paying $50 for that, I jumped at the chance. I didn't hesitate for a fucking second, and I'm glad I didn't. Have you flipped one of these yet, Marcos? You and I both have flipped hundreds of knives, okay? Nothing gives me the experience that this does. Nothing else comes close to the fidget factor, the feeling of stability, the smoothness, the solidness. Think of it like this. The 80-20.5 feels as solid as the cold steel lockups with the back lock, except with the flickability of a Spyderco. Imagine. It's impossible. It baffles my mind. I don't know how they engineered this thing, or how carefully tuned the machining has to be, or how tight the tolerance is for something this solid to flick that easily. I don't know, because it's almost like they had to assist it, but obviously it's not. You know, it just look at how it just look. It's that fidgety, yet it doesn't feel flimsy. Even this, even though it's not a vault, it still feels solid. In spite of that, I could buy 2 Orion for $180.24. I'll go for the 2 for. Yeah, I agree. This is probably one of my favorite knives in terms of fidget, in terms of usability, Sandvik steel. I agree. Yeah, you know. But as much as I love flicking this knife, nothing compares to this still. The solidness of this lockup. But yeah, that's definitely a perspective. I would totally agree with you. Yeah, I love the Solaris. I swear to God, it's so well made. He just knocked it out of the park. You could get almost 3 damn design knives. Yeah, but those are liner locks. Liner locks to me are so fucking boring. I just can't take it. This shark lock, it's the most fucking genius. You've heard it here first. We don't yet know how great this is. Later in the future, people will be like, fucking donkey ass loser grandpa fucking with his grandpa's knives. No, actually not this. Button locks are also genius. But you know, just the liner lock. Like, and like these fucking idiots had liner locks and frame locks and they thought they were hella cool, you know? They're like, man, everyone's got a shark lock. Fala. Quer ver? Eu vou também não. Dude, the Kudu light is 5CR is a fucking beast. Yeah. Agreed. That, oh God, I'm telling you, the Kudu light scares the shit out of me. Like a 4-inch long blade, razor sharp. 70 minutes is that new little fixed blade they offer, 2-inch blade and the 10CR $50. Yeah. I looked at it. I mean, I kind of want it. To be more specific, the original lockback Triad Lock. Yeah, I know that's what you meant, but again, the technology in terms of the strength of the lockup is the same sort of Triad thing. And I did look at the Minimus, and yeah, like, oh, Dagger has a Spidey skull hole on 2 models, Arrow and Sting. Look, that sounds like it looks beautiful. Have you shown them already? I look forward to seeing those. Or no, wait, you just ordered them. I call that their mushroom hole. I'm thinking about selling my Solarises. Oh, really? You don't like them? You got more than one? You have 2? They hold their value. I think they sell right at around what they sold for, especially if you haven't used them. So, do you hear that? That's this little sleeve. So all that needs is a little bit of oil, and he offers this oil. What the fuck did I do with it? Okay, well, it's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah. This is what is it called? 20 weight. This is what David at Blade Banter has in his research has found that this is the business. So 20 weight is what he swears by. And so if you can hear that, you just have to put a dab of this on that stop pin there. Oops, I'm supposed to kill it right away. Maybe not. There it goes. I think I need to work it in. All right, we'll see. That's the way it was on his video anyway. I mean, it disappeared right away. He has a video on it. So I'll do some more research and see if I need to do anything else, or if I even put it in the right damn place. So, okay, yeah, I got 2. Let's see. Yeah, just never connected with them. Plus, had a lot of issues with them at first. Had to send them back multiple times to be fixed. Oh, sorry to hear that. That's too bad. Didn't you have this? Here's where all the cool kids are hiding. And we're just about to end. Sorry, John. There's nothing else, guys. It's already at the 2-hour mark, which is definitely trying to keep it under. You know, my goal is to do 1 hour, but oftentimes these things go 2 hours, thanks to you guys who, you know, keep it lively. And, you know, I definitely have a ton of fun. You know, you don't have to ask me twice to talk about knives endlessly. I mean, shit. 3 hours, Matt. did you have problems with the centering? Because mine, I'm going to have to Loctite mine. It's having some blade lash, a little bit of blade play. So I'm going to have to Loctite it, but I need to change the scales first. So I haven't really done it. I'm going to be doing a live on Thursday nights. Okay, Thursday night. Okay. Yeah, I've been trying to do Thursday night lives after the whatchamacallit, after Knife Junkie. So I don't know when you're going to do yours. I try not to do it when other people do theirs, just, for the sake of, and for my own sake, because I want to watch. But sometimes I just have to go live just because that's the only time I have. I got to hurry up and get it out of the way, get it done, and just move on, I'm not done with my paperwork yet. What time, Grumpy? One thing about trade knives, most are hollow grounds. So if looking for a chopper, might not be best for that. Yeah, I have the notorious Jessica X. And this was Chris Tanner over at Prepared Mind 101. This was his famous knife, 1095. This one still actually has his mark, and he asked them to take it off. What happened was it was originally a Scandi grind, saber grind, and people fired on it, shot it. It was indestructible. And then Trade, without consulting him, turned it into a hollow grind. And then people started saying, well, it's failing on me. I can't chop with it, blah, blah, blah. And he really wanted it to be used for batoning and chopping and all that. So he basically had a falling out with them. And this ended up getting discontinued. And, people love this knife. And I got it on a discontinued, highly marked down for $30 or something. And the Scandi grind ones sell at a premium because people love it. So yeah, they do. Okay, if you want a chopper, you want a Scandi or convex grind, but otherwise I'm actually a very big fan and proponent of hollow grind. So long as you can get away with it, so long as you don't need to do heavy duty chopping, so long as you aren't worried about chipping it out or literally breaking it, you know if you need a Scandi grind, if you need a convex grind, because you're going to be doing that type of work. Otherwise, hollow grind. I don't think anything beats a hollow grind because it's going to increase the length of your knife. It's going to give you that good geometry to slice through stuff. For most of what we are using knives for, your hollow grind is your best bet. And then your flat grind, like your kitchen chef knife, that is kind of a good balance between strength and cutting power. But your hollow grind, that geometry is really what allows you to microscopically slice through material. So again, if strength is not your primary focus for a blade grind, I don't have a problem with hollow grinds. And I can see how a big company wants to do hollow grinds because it's immediately going to give you a sense that, it's slicier. It feels so much slicier because it's going to go through material a lot better. But if you're pounding on it, yeah, that's when you're going to feel the upper limits of the limitation of that type of grind. So 8 p.m. EST. Oh, okay. 8765. Yeah, that's well before. Yeah, I'll tune in. I'll see you there. And what else? Mind you, I chop with mine, but just got to be careful. Yeah. Okay, my brothers. See you on the next one. Yeah. See you guys. Okay. 2 hours and 10 minutes. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Thanks for putting up with my farmer's tan and my tank top and my total loss of musculature. This is what happens when you don't work out for over a decade. So, and you just lay around and get fat. So, and there's a lot of fan noise because it's hotter than fucking hell out here. I don't know why. It's been like 90 every day. It's fucking miserable. Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And Matisfaction, are we on Instagram? I can't remember. You can shoot me a message if you want to talk more, because I know you like these never-ending live streams. Okay, good night, everyone. Então, fala tchau. Zumbi. Zumbi, já dorme? Nossa Senhora. Dormindo já, né? Desgraça. Pofunga. Kunimiga. Okay, good night, everybody.